Everybody, thanks for tuning into today's video. We're doing the second winter roundup today. We're going to have a look at some of the things that I look at to try to compile a winter forecast, see how things are developing now as we're getting on, of course, into the autumn now. It's 30th of September today, last day of September. So we're going to have a look at how things are developing through the autumn in terms of things, or some of the things that I look at for compiling a winter forecast. Now, before we get on with the video, I just want to talk about the advertising. There'll usually be a video ad overlaying my weather videos at gavsweathervids.com. Do please play those video ads. You will be supporting gavsweathervids.com. I know that you do play them. Thank you so much for doing that, and keep playing them because you'll keep supporting gavsweathervids.com by doing that. So I'm just going to get rid of the camera and we'll get on with the video. So what we're going to start off with is the sea surface temperature anomalies. Two things we want to look at. The first thing being the Pacific temperature anomaly, equatorial Pacific, seeing how things are developing there, and of course we've got to look at the Atlantic. So first of all, let's start off with the Pacific. And where's the El Nino? That's the big question. I'm going to do a video looking specifically at El Nino probably in the next week sometime, see how things are going on. But this is the current temperature anomaly for the Pacific Ocean, for the globe. Actually, these are the sea surface temperatures for the globe, but this is the area we're looking at here, specifically from Indonesia back to Peru. That is the ENSO region. If we was having an El Nino coming on, we'd have a big area of warm water developing here along the dateline, along the equatorial Pacific. And where is it? Because actually we've got some of these blue colours here indicating that temperatures are very much around the seasonal normal. So actually the ENSO region is very close to normal. We have got some warm anomalies back towards Peru, but these don't really seem to be upwelling very good. They don't seem to be spreading out. And I'm in serious doubt about this El Nino now. I must say I did think we'd have an El Nino for this winter 2012-2013. I've got real doubts about it now. We could just be looking at ENSO neutral. And actually, if these cooler anomalies, these cooler patches here start to get any more start to get bigger, or start to develop in any more than this, we may even start to look at going back toward very weak La Nina conditions. So quite what's happening with ENSO, I'm not sure at the moment. All of the predictions have been for a weak El Nino this winter, but it just doesn't seem to be happening, and I'm getting very concerned about it. And as I've explained in other videos, the main reason why it's not happening is probably this area of cold water here. This is the cold PDO, the Pacific Decadal Oscillation. The Pacific Decadal Oscillation, the PDO, is cold. It went cold a few years ago. It's going to stay cold probably, not totally for every year, but most years it's going to be cold now for the next 20 years or more actually. And when you've got a cold PDO, it does inhibit often El Nino developing. It doesn't mean that you won't get an El Nino. There will still be El Ninos occurring. It just means that they have a harder time getting going, and they tend to be weaker and not last as long as when the PDO is warm. The PDO was warm in the 80s and 90s, and we saw some really strong and long-lasting El Ninos in that period. Now the PDO has gone cold, and ENSO is more favoured to be La Nina as opposed to El Nino. Now, having a look at the Atlantic. And well, we've very nearly got a tripole here. We've got some very warm temperature anomalies here for the tropical Atlantic. Then we've got this cooler band here, and then we've got this warmer band again to the north, to the south of Greenland and around Newfoundland. Now, this isn't absolutely a perfect tripole, because if it was, we'd actually have cold water here around the eastern seaboard of the United States up towards Newfoundland. Then we'd have the warm band from Newfoundland up towards Greenland. So you would want to see more in way of cold blue anomalies, cold anomalies here around the eastern seaboard up to Newfoundland, and then with the warm tropical Atlantic. So it's not a perfect tripole, but it's very close to one actually, with a warm cold warm band there, so that does favour negative NAO. I say it's not a perfect tripod, but it does favour a negative NAO. Whether this lasts until the winter, we'll have to wait and see. And then, of course, as I spoke about in my last video, we've got the cold waters here between Iceland and Scandinavia. That's still, though, maybe starting to moderate very slightly in some of that region, but still generally quite a lot of cold temperature anomalies there between Iceland and Greenland, probably a result of Arctic ice melt. Now, the next thing I'm going to go on to is solar activity. This is from solarham.net. You can find this on my links page. This is the latest image of the sun, the sunspots, and well, there's not much to see here. We have got a few sunspots, but solar activity is officially classified as low, as weak. So we're not seeing moderate or strong levels of solar activity yet. Again, solar activity still remains very weak. As I explained in my last video, we're heading up towards solar maximum. Solar maximum will probably occur at some point in the next 12 months. It's going to be a very, very weak solar maximum indeed, this one. Nothing like the last few solar maxes that we've had, and this is indicative of what we're seeing, really, because what we've been seeing, I should say, really not very much going on. Very weak solar activity indeed. Going through towards Arctic ice and snow cover, this is the latest chart. In fact, if I refresh this, we may just get the latest one. Yeah, this is for Saturday the 29th, so this is the absolute latest Arctic sea ice and snow cover anomaly. We can see that the Arctic sea ice is very low indeed. We've had a catastrophic melt season, but it is now finally beginning to come back. It's starting, the refreeze is just starting, and we are starting to see this area of ice over here and down here beginning to push back. Once again, beginning the slow freeze that we're going to see through the course of the autumn. This is the snow cover, and it's actually very close to the seasonal average, really, or the last 10-year average at least. We're still a little bit down on snow cover compared to this point in 2010 and 2011, but really we're around where we should be. Certainly in terms of the last 10 years, since around 2000 actually, we're around where we should be. And snow cover will become much more important through October. Actually, it's still quite early really in the snow cover season. It'll be October that is really important to see how quickly this vast area of snow cover will advance across Russia, and eventually, of course, all of this will be covered in snow right way into Eastern Europe. It's how quickly it happens. October and early November, the key periods really to see how quickly this advances. But we're around where we should be, and certainly we're a much improved situation, compared to where it was when I did this video last time on the 17th of September. We have improved from there, and things have come back towards where they should be. And just to show you how the ice cover has come back, let's go to the chart for the 17th of October. Actually, no, this is for 2007, so if I go back here, we'll see what's going on. Actually, I can't get the charts up for the 17th of September, but take my word for it, it is beginning to refreeze now here across the pole, as you would expect. Just having a quick look at 2007, and this was the melt season in 2007, another very dramatic melt season. We've beaten 2007 this year, but that was the melt season, and this was the situation in the Arctic with in terms of Arctic sea ice cover at this point in 2007. Quite similar, but you can see that actually the melt extent was a little bit more extensive. And in terms of snow cover, we're doing better actually at the moment than we was in 2007. This was the situation in 2007 in terms of snow cover. We're a little bit up on that actually, especially this area here. Finally, have a look at climateuk.com. This is Philip Eden's wonderful website dealing with the Central England temperature. Just see how things have developed for September, and we can see we've had a cooler than average month here, much cooler than average month. Central England temperature at the moment is 13.2. It may actually dip down a little bit below that by the time we get through to the end of the month. But in any case, it's been a cool month, a cool of an average month. The anomaly here is 1 Celsius below average. That is the 81 to 2010 average, I believe. But nevertheless, it's been quite a cool month. Rainfall has also come in around the average, maybe very slightly above. Sunshine a little bit above average as well. So in terms of the autumn pressure pattern, well, there is a theory that cooler and wetter Septembers can be useful for colder winters. So we've had a cool September in any case, probably the coolest September for 18 years, back to 1994. But the caveat with that is that 1994, when we had a cool September, the last time I had a really cool September, that was a mild winter. 1994, 1995, it was a mild winter. So that's the caveat. Whether these autumn weather patterns really make any difference to the following season is very, very controversial. But in any case, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Things are developing now, particularly in terms of the sea, ice and snow cover. We'll go on through October, see how things are going to pan out through the course of October. So I'll be doing another couple of videos at least in October, having a look at how things are developing. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.